Hey, it's Dan O'Donnell, editor-in-chief of the Heartland Post, and the Wisconsin Supreme Court is not letting the effort to gerrymander Wisconsin's congressional map for Democrats die just yet. In a major Friday afternoon news dump, the court's liberal justices announced that they'd hear a review of an appeal by liberal groups of a decision tossing one of the two challenges to the congressional map. Now, the Supreme Court set up two different three-judge panels of hand-selected liberal circuit court judges to hear those cases. But earlier this spring, both of those panels threw the cases out, ruling they didn't have authority to hear those cases in the first place. And they didn't. Because by doing so, they would have been reviewing a case already heard by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And they can't do that. Back in 2022, the Republican legislature and Democrat Governor Tony Evers each drew their own maps, and the court had to intervene. It picked Evers's map. You know, the map that's now being challenged by Democrat groups, who are arguing that a Democrat governor drew a map rigged for Republicans. Clearly he didn't, but liberal groups still sued because they want the liberal Supreme Court to gerrymander the maps as democratically as possible. But there's a problem here. Instead of just hearing the cases themselves, the justices impaneled lower court judges to review a decision by the Supreme Court. They can't do that. The Wisconsin Constitution makes that clear, and both panels of judges recognized it and dismissed the cases. But the Supreme Court doesn't care much about the Constitution and is looking for a way to revive at least one of those cases and get the congressional map tossed any way it can. This won't happen before November's midterms. We're way too close to Election Day for that, but it could happen in time for the 2028 and 2030 elections. And it really looks like the Supreme Court is going to try to ensure that it does.